and welcome to another edition of Cavaliers Daily. I'm your host, Paul Williams, and you have found your one stop shop for everything Cavalier related, the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about it here with the authority of Cleveland Cavalier basketball, which is me. And got some exciting updates to go over today as the Cavs have announced their plans for the 2025 training camp. The Cavs will be, once again, for the second year in a row, heading down to Florida for a training camp, as on September 3rd, they will head to IMG Academy in Sarasota, Florida, where they will have a team bonding type of training camp. And for only the third time in the Cavs' history, they will be going out of state for their training camp. They did it last year, where they also went to IMG Academy, and in 2004, they went down to Columbus for their training camp as well. IMG Academy is a high school, but it's not your normal high school. It has a state of the art facility with three gyms and every type of training resource that a high school, college, or professional athlete could need. So the facilities and everything are, top notch. They're better than a lot of college facilities, to be honest. So it's a great place where the Cavs can get all their work done that they need to do, but also just spend that off time bonding instead of going back home after training camp's over with for the day. They go back into the dorms and they spend that time together, playing games, hanging out, playing cards, things of that nature. And I think it really does help with the team chemistry and team building. I know Coach Atkinson loved what they did there last year, so he's excited for them to be back. And yeah, it's just exciting because if they're announcing where training camp's going to take place, that means we're not too far from the season starting, which I am beyond ready for, and I think most people would agree with me on that. So, September 30th, training camp will begin. They will be holding the Cavs Media Day the day before on September 29th in Cleveland. So, still get to do Media Day here. And then the next day, they'll be flying down to Florida. They'll be there for a week, come back October 5th, and then start prepping for preseason. They play their first preseason game 2 days later, as they'll take on the Chicago Bulls on October 7th. And a few weeks after that, it gets really real and the season tips off. So, if you're looking for your next, big thing to come when it comes to Cavs basketball, that will be Media Day, September 29th, and Training Camp, September 30th, which doesn't even seem real, but that's somehow just 4 weeks away. And if you know how fast time goes, that'll be here before we all know it. So, exciting time. The season is so close to tip off. I know if you're a big fan like me, you're just ready at this point. You're done with all the talking and speculation, and you really just want to get to the games. So yeah, September 29th, the Cavs will get back together, and that's the start of the regular season. From there, they'll head on the plane to Florida, come back, and before you know it, we'll be tipping off NBA season basketball. Now, outside of that training camp news, some other news has came in about the Cavs over the past couple of days, or I should say, a specific Cavs player. That player is our second round pick from just a few months ago, number 58 overall. Sorry if I butcher the name a little bit. I really, really have been practicing saying it, but it isn't the easiest name to say. Salou Niang is playing right now in the Eurobasket for Team Italy, and there's been some rave reviews about him thus far. He's only 21 years old, and we won't be seeing him for at least a year or two. He's going to stay in Europe for at least this coming season, but it's nice to get a glimpse at what might be a future gem that the Cavs found in the 2025 draft, even if it doesn't come to fruition till 2028, 2029, or 2030. A lot of good teams. That's how they keep their cupboard full. They'll draft and stash, and just when you forget about that guy is when they're finally heading overseas to come and play in the NBA. So yeah, definitely want to keep your eyes on this guy. He's a 6'8" combo forward with ridiculous wingspan. He already plays, at least in my eyes, from what I've seen on tape, professional level defense. The rest of his game still has to catch up a little bit, but he's an exciting player. Just in his last game alone, in only 15 minutes, playing with a bunch of grown men and professionals in all leagues from the Euro League to the NBA. He played just 15 minutes, but put up 10 points on 5 of 6 shooting. He grabbed 6 rebounds, 4 of them on the offensive end, and had 2 blocks. That's just kind of a glimpse of what the Cavs may have found in Niang. His athleticism is what's guiding him right now, early in his career. But as he grows into that and becomes more polished, I really do think he can be a contributor one day for the Cavs. I know he played in a recent game as well against Georgia, and he scored 15 points on 4 of 6 shooting. So it just highlights that he has a lot of potential. He's a very efficient scorer already, and his defense is, I won't say top notch just yet when it comes to NBA level defense, but I would say he could play passable defense today in the NBA, and with a couple more years of seasoning, he may be a real contributor off our bench. So keep your eyes out for Niang. I do think that he will be someone that pays dividends for the Cavs down the road. And getting off of what may pay dividends down the road for a second, let's talk about a Cavs player or maybe two that could pay big dividends this season with a breakout campaign. I think there's two big candidates for that. They're both in their late 20s, so maybe it's not the traditional breakout, but I could really see Sam Merrill and Lonzo Ball both having career years, the type of years that it changes their whole outlook and the trajectory of the rest of their careers, and also the way that just the NBA sees them and the NBA community in general looks at these players. In Sam Merrill's case, he's going to get the opportunity, especially early on with Max Strus out and possibly Darius Garland. There will be minutes and opportunities there, and also more shots than he usually has seen in the past couple of seasons with the Cavs. So I think he is ready for that moment and will take huge advantage of it. I honestly think he'll be one of the better three-point shooters in the league this year and do it on a higher volume where it really makes more of an impact. And I think people will finally get to see that he's not just a spot-up shooter. He can play defense, he can slash as well, and he can create a little bit. That's never going to be his strong point, but he does have that in his game. And I think we'll see a lot more of that this season from him. As far as Lonzo Ball goes, it's more of I just really think that he'll be able to put together a healthy enough campaign to show people the all-around game that he really does have and how it can contribute to winning on a high level. Yes, he has shown in flashes what he can do on the basketball court, but it's usually been for a losing team or maybe a play-in type team. He's never played for a team that had real championship aspirations, and doing so now with this Cavs team, which is a top 2 favorite to win it all, I think that's going to bring a lot out of him and help him prove to the world that he is more than just what could have been type of player. I think he still has time to put it all together, and I could see him having a 6 man of the year type of season where it might be unfortunate for the Cavs because he might price himself out of staying with us beyond the next season or two, but I think it'll pay huge, huge dividends this year for the Cavs team, and I really do see him being our Alex Caruso, but just on a higher level because I think he does even more on the basketball court. He has the same defensive level as Caruso. He could guard 1 through 3 just like Caruso, but he can do a lot more on offense, especially with the ball in his hands, facilitating wise. And he's the type of player that could have been a top 25, 30 player if health permitted. He's still just in what should be the smack dab of his prime. So I do feel confident saying Lonzo Ball will have a breakout year. If he does get injured and misses a ton of time, you guys can, of course, come back and trash me on that. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about Lonzo Ball and Sam Merrill this year, and I think they will be two big breakouts for the Cavs. And getting off of those two guards for a second, what do you think about the statement that Donovan Mitchell is already the best guard to ever play for the Cleveland Cavaliers franchise? Now, I mean, at least since I'll say the 90s, when I could at least validate and see for myself what the Cavs had and what type of players they were. I think some of the main names that would even be in that discussion would be Mark Price, Kyrie Irving, and Donovan Mitchell. I mean, Darius Garland, I would put probably fourth in that category, but yeah, I'd say it'd be out of Mark Price, Donovan, or Kyrie Irving. And while Kyrie has the shot and has the championship with the Cavs, and Mark Price did some amazing things in his time as a Cleveland Cavalier, I'm giving it to Donovan Mitchell, especially the thing that really pushes it over the top for me is he didn't have to stay this past season. He was up for a new contract. Many pundits thought he was gone for sure, and even more pundits were trying to help push him out the door, mainly to New York. But Donovan stayed, and he committed to this Cavs team like he said he was going to from day one. And he's shown that commitment on and off the court his entire time being here. I think he's been a Cleveland great in his short 3 years so far. He does everything the right way, it seems. He plays team, unselfish basketball. He came in with the reputation as more of just an ISO scorer type player, but he has clearly showed that he's way more than that, and he's more than willing to step back and let his team shine as well. It seems like he genuinely enjoys seeing his teammates shine, and I think that's a huge quality, and that does matter when you're talking about great basketball players because they all have done special things on the court. So it's sometimes the smaller things that may separate them. And I love his game. He is obviously one of the best scorers in the league, but he can do so much more. He really can facilitate. He's not afraid to play defense, even being undersized. And the way he moves with the basketball and the way he gets when he starts catching fire, it's a sight to see. It's really fun to watch, and while it's tough to say he's better than Kyrie in a lot of those categories, I don't know. Maybe I'm being biased because he's here at this very moment, and I'm just being a prisoner of the moment. But I'm taking Donovan over Kyrie. Kyrie has the best handles to me in the history of the NBA. He's one of the best finishers I've ever seen, and he's, at least for us, was very clutch. But he was too, I don't know, it just wasn't consistent enough. There was too many times where he would disappear, and it seemed to be more because of his attitude or because of mental reasons, not because he couldn't do it. And to me, that just deducts a few points when you're trying to critique 2 or 3 great players. I mean, there's not going to be many downsides to any of these players, but when I'm looking at it and kind of uncovering everything I can to make a educated and unbiased statement about who I think is the best guard that has played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, those are just some of the things I look at, and because of those reasons, I will go with Donovan Mitchell. And after he wins the ship with us this year, I really think it won't even be a conversation anymore. So let's have this discussion now before he ends all debates in 2026 when the Cavs are hoisting the Larry O'Brien, or I'm sorry, the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And hopefully in June 2026, when the Cavs are celebrating their finals victory, we're celebrating on here day after day. Maybe we go live from the parade. Who knows? Until then, we still have a lot to get through. I'll be here every day with you guys, getting through all that stuff. If you're still with me, I truly appreciate it. Please hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until tomorrow, thank you and have a great rest of your day.